What's up, guys? Jesus MMA here on the mic, and this weekend is UFC 315, so I'm doing the UFC 315 Predictions for Dummies. We're starting off the card with Brad Katona, the Canadian, versus Beksat Almakam. Now, I know Brad's gonna have the home court advantage, I guess you could say home field advantage, but that doesn't usually help out the Canadian fighters. It seems, last pay-per-view in Toronto, every single male Canadian fighter lost. So, I don't want to say I believe in curses, but I also just genuinely think Beksat is a better fighter. Brad Katona has no reach, and his game is mainly takedowns. He tries to trip people down. So I'm gonna go with Beksat. He might hurt Brad a few times. He did knock down Umar Nurmagomedov. He had no other success other than that, but still, I have more faith in him. I'm gonna go with a Beksat Almakhan 29-28 decision, close-ish fight. Next fight up the card, Daniel Santos versus Junyon Lee. Now listen here, guys. I think this fight will be a good war on the early prelims. I don't know what it is, sometimes you just got that feeling. And that's that feeling that I have for this fight. So, Daniel Santos, Junyon Lee. Junyon Lee, last showing, got just hurricane TKO'd by Haider Emil. He had zero head movement. Daniel Santos has a few TKOs on his record, I believe, at least in the promotion. Maybe not. I kind of forget. But he has some pop in his shot, is the point. I think that Daniel Santos probably wins this fight. A close 29-28 decision in a war. He'll hurt Junyon Lee more times than Junyon Lee will hurt him. Listen, I just don't really have faith in Junyon Lee because he just doesn't have head movement. And he's not the Korean Zombie. You can get finished, bro. You can't be playing that game like that. Next fight up the card, Marc-André Barriault against Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva, I don't know why he's still in the UFC. He's lost every single fight ever since, I think, the Pereira fight. No, maybe he beat Brad Tavares, actually, I think. But he has not looked the same. He's been a ghost of himself. Marc-André Barriault, he's coming off some KO losses, so this is really kind of the fight to see who stays in the UFC. I have more faith in Marc-André Barriault. He just still seems to have, I guess, a fighter's soul in him. Bruno Silva, I don't know what happened to him, man. He just looks uncomfortable in the cage at all times. I just can't pick him to win a fight. Marc-André Barriault, probably ground and pound TKO. I think he gets him out of there. Next up the card, Navajo Sterling versus Ivan Urslan. I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight. After all, it's a light heavyweight fight. Yeah, light heavyweight fight. Ivan Urslan hasn't made much noise in the UFC. Neither has Sterling, but I just have more faith in Sterling. He wasn't able to KO Tuko Tokos. I think Urslan's going to stand his ground a bit more. He has a few more fights just in general. So, that crafty vet spirit, might be able to keep him in there. But, we'll see. Because Sterling, you can't not KO Tuko Tokos and then have me pick you to KO Urslan. But I feel like he would. So, we're going to go Navajo Sterling. Early KO. He does some good work. He did beat the shit out of Tokos, and Tokos only survived because that's all he was focused on doing. I think Urslan's going to give more of a fight. I think that's what's going to get him caught. Maybe something in the early second round, late first round. Next up off the card, we have Modestas Bukauskas versus Ion Cutelaba. This is a wild fight, man. And I love me a good Ion Cutelaba pick. Bukauskas has been looking good as of late. But I don't know, I think he breaks to the Hulk. Never doubt the Hulk. Actually, you should doubt the Hulk. He has 10 losses on his record. But I'm going to go with Ion Cutelaba, just kind of based off of aura. I think he's going to break Modestas Bukauskas. Now, I could be completely wrong, and Bukauskas just wins, because he's a more technical, kind of a better fighter. Kutilaba, I guess he did get a good win against, what was that Turkish fighter's name? Anyways, he got a good win against him. Ibo Aslan. Yeah, Ibo Aslan. And, but it was a sloppy ass fight. And, yeah. Hard one to pick for me. I'm gonna go with Ion Kutilaba. Takes him down, submits him, probably second round. I'm gonna go second round submission, Ion Kutilaba. I think he'll get wild on the feet, might get clipped a few times, realize it's time to do a Hulk sit and sit on him, and then submit him. Up the card, Jessica Andrade versus Jasmine Jasudavicius. However you say her last name, doesn't matter. I don't think she's winning the fight. I know Jessica Andrade has had a few losses as of late, but she's still Jessica Andrade, and I think she's still way more dangerous in that octagon than Jasmine is. Listen, she's a bit too proven in this women's division, and Jasmine did lose to Tracy Cortez. Now, it was a bit of time ago, but still, that's not a loss that I like to see, and I know MMA math is not supposed to be reliable, but Andrade is still youngish, and she's 33, so I still think she's got the win. I think she'll probably drop Jasmine once, and then kind of coast out to an easy 30-27 decision. Win for Andrade. Now up the card, Mike Malott versus Charles Radke. Now I want to pick Mike Malott because Canada does need a prospect at the end of the day. Charles Radke ain't too bad though, man. I'm not gonna lie. That guy's got some good, I believe, left hook. He's got a good left hook on him. Mike Malott, though, I think he's learned from his loss to Neil Magny. He's more accustomed to, I guess, a longer fight. I think he's going to play it a lot safer. His last fight against Giles sucked, but, you know, he'll play it smart. I think he plays it smart against Radke. Probably wins another decision. 29-28 or 30-27, Mike Malott. Radke's good, though. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins. But Mike Malott was beating Neil Magny until he lost. So there is that to consider. I still think he's got some level of talent that is above Charles Radke. Mike Malott, 29-28, 30-27. Up to the next fight and the main card. Benoit Saint-Denis versus Kyle Prepolek. Now, I originally recorded this when he was facing Joel Alvarez, and I picked Joel Alvarez to beat BSD. Listen, Propolek, I don't know much about him. 18 wins, 8 losses. First fight in the UFC, it seems. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's got some submission losses as well. BSD is no joke on the ground. He doesn't like to stay on it, so I don't suspect him to submit him. Propolek's never been KO'd though, so maybe his chin will hold strong. I still think BSD probably beats him. He'll feel super comfortable. Wait, BSD submitted Ishmael Bonfim. Never mind. BSD probably submits this guy, or he might KO him if he finds a shot. It's a different level of competition at the end of the day in the UFC. Regardless, a BSD win by finish, either submission, or I could see a ground and pound TKO first round. Let's go Benoit Saint-Denis. Now, next fight up on the card, Alexa Grasso versus Natalia Silva. I'm gonna go Natalia Silva. Do I? Here's the problem. Women's prospects look very promising, and then they reach a certain level, and then you're like, wow. The top level still is leagues beyond everybody else in the division. Natalia Silva, though, she has promise. She beat Andrade. She beat a couple other fighters. I'm not remembering right now. But she has some really good striking. Pretty good on the ground. Grasso's ground game was exposed last fight against Shevchenko. Now, Shevchenko is, she's the champion. She's the best in the division right now. Or at least, we'll wait for the co-main pick. But, yeah, I kind of just believe in the momentum of Natalia Silva more. I really did not like Grasso's last performance. She also looked timid on the feet. if you put in a takedown threat, I think she'll be a lot more gun shy on the feet. And Silva's got some pretty nice kicks as well. Grasso's boxing is fairly decent, but I think Silva's got a lot better movement than her as well. I'm not going to spend too much time on this fight anyways. Natalia Silva, 30-27 decision. Up the card, we've got Jose Aldo versus Ayman Zahabi. Jose Aldo's winning this fight. I don't see Ayman Zahabi as that legit of a contender. He's got some decent wins. I think one against Javid Bashrat, or was it the other Bashrat? Oh, let me check real quick. Yeah, Javid Bashrat, and he's got a win against Pedro Munoz. So, you know, the brother can fight. But Jose Aldo is Jose Aldo. That last fight, bullshit decision. He did not lose to Batista, and that's the only way to beat Jose Aldo. So unless Zahabi employs the same strat that Batista did, he's gonna get pieced up. I think Jose Aldo probably wins this fight. We'll go 29-28 decision. Might lose the last round if Zahabi's desperate and is holding him up against the fence. Co-main event time, ladies and gentlemen. And we got Valentina Shevchenko versus Manon Fiorot, or Manon Fiorot, whatever. Listen, guys, I know Shevchenko is supposed to be, you know, the next level, but I got faith in Manon Fiorot. She did handedly beat Erin Blanchfield, who is a decent wrestler at the end of the day. Now, maybe her height and the way she does her takedowns is why Fiorot was able to stuff them, and I think she took Blanchfield down at one point, or I don't know. That fight was so long ago, and it was so unremarkable. Yeah. Anyways, I low-key think she beats Shevchenko. She's been in 5-round fights before. I don't think this is going to be... I don't think this is not being a decision. This is 100% going to go to a decision. I think Fiorot is just going to have the bigger moments on the feet, catch her. Shevchenko is going to get uncomfortable, and she'll try to shoot for a takedown. As we've seen, she's just been relying on that as of late. As the third fight against Grasso showed. And Fiorot has some decent takedown defense. And I think Shevchenko's getting up there in age. It's time for a new champion, please. So Manon Fiorot, 49-46. Something like that. And now for the main event. Belal Muhammad versus Jack Della Maddalena. Now, this is a closer fight than people will make it seem. I really kind of don't know who to pick. Jack Della Maddalena has shown some pretty shoddy takedown defense, and Belal is a really good pressure grappler. So I'm concerned for JDM for him to get his shots off and his nice boxing combinations on Belal before he gets taken down. Because he will get taken down. I think it's a guarantee. Belal's not that bad on the feet either. Now, he's not JDM. His boxing's not better than JDM. He will be open. He will get hit a few times. But Belal's been hit by some big shots. And, I mean, as of late, he hasn't gone down. Listen, it's time we put some respect on Belal Muhammad's name. I mean, we gotta remember the name, man. And also, he needs to win this fight to save the lightweight division. Because we need Topuria versus Makhachev. So, Belal Muhammad needs to win this fight. The UFC needs him to win this fight. Alright? Therefore, he's got the plot armor. I'm going to give Belal the win. Of course, it's going to be a decision. I don't expect anything more. There's nothing less to expect. So, I don't expect anything more. I think it's a close fight, though. I think JDM will have his moments on the feet. Maybe he'll have some momentum in a few rounds and then lose it. I'm going to go 48-47 Belal Muhammad, unanimous decision, and still, remember the name, Islam Makhachev, fight Topuria, please. UFC 315, listen man, I'm looking forward to it. Not as much as 314, but the card is still okay for pay-per-view. It would have been absolute garbage if the BSD fight got canned. I'm glad they kept it on. Thank you for doing the bare minimum, UFC. It really is not that shocking to say nowadays, seeing how the fucking company is going. But yeah, man, those are my predictions. And it's the predictions for dummies, man. We kind of go more off of over on this. Alright, catch you guys later. Ciao, ciao.